So guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to discuss some potential Bundesliga blue cards. Now last week I did a video on the Premier League team of the season so far. Today we're going to do the same, but this time obviously for the Bundesliga. Admittedly, I don't watch too much of the Bundesliga. I'm not going to be one of them YouTubers who, talks a big game and acts as if they watch the league every week, because I don't. So a lot of this is going to be based off of stats and also Bundesliga pundits articles. But what I also did was I asked a bunch of you on Twitter for assistance with this one, and in a moment you will see the 23 players that I eventually went with. Anyway guys, before we get into the players, in the comments below let me know who features in your Bundesliga team of the season so far, and also if you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. I do want to quickly add that remember, I'm not predicting who I think will be in the final Bundesliga team of the season. I'm just basing these players off of performances in the first half of the season. Right then, let's get into things, and we start off with the goalkeepers, and I have to say they were really hard to choose, and I've left out some really good options like Ulreich of Bayern Munich, who has been great so far. He's helped keep 6 clean sheets so far in the 12 games he's played. Baumann's also been awesome for Hoffenheim. He's kept 6 clean sheets as well, which is the joint most in the league. There's also Jiri Pavlenka, who has put in some absolutely brilliant performances for Werder Bremen, but the two I've actually ended up going for are Berkey of Borussia Dortmund and Castells of Wolfsburg. Now I've gone for Berkey because 1, he's the top clean sheet leader, and 2, despite seemingly not having the best of seasons, because Berkey has come under a lot of stick this season, he actually has one of the best save percentages in the league. So it might not seem like he's always performing that well, but statistically he's actually been brilliant for Dortmund. So yeah, he's performing a lot better than a lot of people think. Wolfsburg aren't having the best of seasons either, but the goalkeeper Castells has been putting in some very big performances. He's actually made the 3rd most saves in the league, and despite his side being 12th in the table, a lot of German pundits have praised the goalkeeper for keeping his side in games. Moving on to the first page of defenders, we have Max, we have Hummels, Naldo and Kimmich. Now Max is an easy choice because he's been amazing all season, and I'm amazed he actually hasn't had an inform in FIFA yet. I'm pretty confident he's going to get an upgrade when we eventually get them in FIFA. 9 assists in 17 games from left back, that is very impressive. Bayern Munich's defence as a whole has been solid in the Bundesliga so far. They've only let in 11 goals, and Hummels has proved to be a great signing for them, helping stabilise that back line. Naldo has been top class for Schalke in defence and attack. 3 goals and 2 assists is a pretty good return for a defender, and he has filled the gap of Höwedes very freaking well. And finally we come on to Kimmich, who has been great for Bayern Munich all year. Stepping into Philipp Lahm's shoes was never going to be an easy task for anyone, but thus far Kimmich is impressing. 6 assists from right back for him, that is a pretty good return. Okay, on to page number 2 of the defenders, and we'll start with Schalke's Oxipka, who has been pretty solid for Schalke this season and has actually done really well to replace Sead Kolasinac. Next to him is Willi Orban. Now I know he has a bit of a discipline problem, but he's having another good season for Leipzig. Hannover are currently 11th in the league table, but Sane has been one of the best performing defenders in the Bundesliga this season, and for me, rightly deserves a spot. And finally, on the end, we have Ginter, who has showed great utility value this season, and at just 23, is outplaying many of his older peers. Moving on to the midfielders, and we have quite the selection. We'll start with Bender, and that is Lars Bender, who has just been incredibly consistent so far for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's looked comfortable wherever he's played, because so far this season he's played centre mid, defensive mid, centre back and at right back. Caligari has played some good football for Schalke, playing on both wings, attacking and defending very well. He's picked up 5 goal contributions in the first half of the season. Arturo Vidal has had what can be described as an interesting season. He's had a few iffy games, but in some he's just looked amazing, and recently he's been class, and when he is playing well he is one of the best midfielders in the world. 5 goals, 2 assists, 4 man of the match awards, those are some pretty impressive numbers. Augsburg have been a surprise package in the Bundesliga and have had quite a few standout players, and one of them is this man Gregoritsch, who has got himself 8 goals and 2 assists, which, is pretty mad for a midfielder, although I will say he's a bit more of a utility forward. He plays kind of on the wings and sometimes central. You know, he just plays anywhere amongst the front line. Page 2 now, and we'll start with Thomas Muller. Now, originally I actually had Koeman in this position because he's been really good, but with Muller having double the amount of goal contributions, it's hard to overlook him. Leon Bailey no doubt deserves his spot. 6 goals, 4 assists and countless top draw performances. He's been amazing so far for Bayer Leverkusen. Marcel Sabitzer being one of Leipzig's best players this season, and he's regularly the creator in the side, and 5 goal contributions and 3 man of the match performances so far for him have got him a spot for me. And then on the end we've got Thorgan Hazard, who I've picked over his teammate Raphael because Hazard, he scored 6 times and got 3 assists, and he's just been brilliant for Gladbach so far. And now we come on to the strikers, and page 1 features Leverkusen's Volland and Hoffenheim's Oof. Kevin Volland has scored 9 times and got 1 assist in his 16 Bundesliga appearances, and Mark Oof has done the same, 9 goals and 1 assist, but for him it was in 15 starting appearances and 1 off the bench. Volland's goal contribution has made up 26% of his team's goals, and Oof's has made up 33% of Hoffenheim's. So here we are, the final page. We have Finn Bogsson, we've got Aubameyang and Lewandowski, the 3 top goal scorers in the Bundesliga so far this season. And we're going to start with Augsburg's Alfred Finn Bogsson, who scored 11 times and has 2 assists in 16 appearances for his team. And he's actually scored a huge 41% of his team's goals so far this season. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is up next, and he has found the back of the net 13 times so far for Dortmund. He's also got 3 assists too, and he has scored 33% of Dortmund's goals. And finally, we have the man who is currently the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga, Robert Lewandowski, who has no assists, but he has put the ball in the back of the net, in the back of the goal 15 times, and he's contributed to a huge 41% of Bayern Munich's goals so far in the Bundesliga. So guys, those are the 23 players that I have selected. What are your thoughts on them? Let me know in the comments. And just like in the previous video, if you do disagree with me, I challenge you to select 23 players, so get typing and put them in the comments section below. Anyway, let's discuss some players now who I left out who definitely could have featured. Anyway, now let's discuss the players who I left out. So, Kingsley Coman, he is in with a good shout. He's performed well for Bayern so far and has regularly made a good impact off the bench. Kabi's been really solid for Augsburg, and he's scored 4 goals and got 2 assists, and he's also picked up 2 man of the match performances. Jiri Pavlenka we spoke about earlier. Despite Werder Bremen not doing all that well in the league as a whole, the goalkeeper has been incredibly impressive, and who knows, come the end of the season, could still get himself a blue card. Another goalkeeper who's performing well is Ulreich, who, you know, replacing Neuer is never going to be easy, but Ulreich has done a pretty good job thus far. Bayern Munich have only conceded 11 goals all season, and their goalkeeper, you know, could have featured in my selection. Diallo has been pretty solid at the back for Mainz. Naby Keita for most part has performed really well for Leipzig, though I do have to mention he has had some of his own discipline issues. Jethro Williams has looked pretty good for Frankfurt, and Timo Werner has been doing pretty well for Leipzig also, and I do imagine in the second half of the season Timo Werner will pick up plenty more goals. Leon Goretzka has done pretty well for Schalke, but who knows where he's going to be playing his football next season. There's a lot of rumours going around right now as he is out of contract and he's been linked with a lot of clubs. Ian Robben, despite being 33, is still putting in some very good performances. And finally, we have Dortmund centre-back Socrates. All of these players could have featured in my selection, but unfortunately, I either couldn't find space for them, or I just felt that some other players were more deserving. But of course, there is still half a season to go, and who knows, when I do my end of season predictions, many of these players on the screen right now could actually feature in the 23 selection. So guys, we're coming to the end of the video now. In the comments below, let me know which players you agree and disagree with, and if you fancy it, take on the challenge. Name your 23-man Bundesliga team of the season so far and put that in the comments section too. I promise you, it is not as easy as it looks. You're always going to feel as if you're leaving a player out, and yeah, these team of the season, mid-season predictions are pretty hard to do. In a few months' time, when the season's fully complete, I will do my end of season predictions, and we'll see how many of the players that featured in today's video continued their form. Anyway, let me know which league I should cover next. Maybe Ligue 1, maybe the Serie A, or maybe La Liga. But I think that's pretty much it. If you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.